Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Canyon. Welcome back to another Quickview installment. I hope that it maintains itself as such as what is about to enter the bench and cross the bench is one of, we've got a TRX-6, but it's so big and so heavy that this box comes in another box, and they put little box protect. They keep falling off everywhere, and then I step on them, and they're like little caltrops in here. Cross EMO X2, apparently the Cougar. It says Cougar on the door. I don't know, maybe. It is gunmetal. It is not the metallic blue that is here on the box. Yeah. The grunting is not for show. It's heavy. 375 millimeter wheelbase. From end of bumper to apparently fuel tank on the back. 632 millimeters in length. That's really big. It's really big. I am going to go ahead and use my mind. I'm going to go ahead and cut these right now, as I feel like it's not going to be that easy to manipulate this box around. Oh, we get right into it. Okay, there's some pool liner. Decals, probably. I'm just going to guess decals on that. Oh, with a caltrop there. Bubble wrap. Bubble wrap. Oh, what is this? 10th anniversary. I love Cross RC. It's like a desk mat blotter. Foam, more foam. Some more foam on top of that foam. Something well wrapped and heavy. We went for every kind of packing material we could. I'm not kidding. Let's keep a tally here, shall we? This is like memory foam, like what would have been inside an insert. We've got the air sausages, which are new now. We've got good old-fashioned Pop Me bubble wrap. We've got the sort of, I don't know what classification this foam is. We've got a bunch of this. There's even more of that. I'm going to throw it all in the lid. Let's do that. Oh, this is a lot of packing. Let's assume this is the radio. Yes. Which is in a Ziploc bag, which I guess technically constitutes another form of packaging. It's oddly familiar. Yeah, Shenzhen Dumbo model. Okay. There's little buttons here for channel 2 and 4, channel 3 and 4. Then we've got a little door, which is, oh, it's the whole thing. Got some dips, we got some trims, it's the power button. We've got channel 5 is a light indicator, and channel 6 is 2 cogs. Well, we will see. More bubble wrap, more bubble wrap, more bubble wrap. Ordinarily, this is the type of situation where we see some sort of molded cardboard mount for this thing. I thought I could just pop it out, but no. Okay, I had to. Oh, there's another. It's another memory foam. Try to get these out of. Oh wait, as is tradition. Yay! Oh, they really like these. They really like these. I'm not saying anything. specifically. What I am saying is that this is the type of pack. This feels strongly akin to the packaging that you would see of someone packaging something up, like for resale, like where they put their blue zip ties, and I'm a little bit jealous of the zip ties. Where they put their blue zip ties through are pieces of other shipping boxes. Like, they sold an EMO X2, and they went, somebody boxed that up. I didn't get all the way through. We are extricating. I think we're free. Oh my God, it's huge. That's what she said. Body in a bag, body in a bag. Good Lord! So, if recollection is correct, I have been told by a knowledgeable source that it's like 80+% the size of an SCX6. There's so much tape on this bag. There's an unconscionable amount of tape on this bag. I mean, oh yeah, it's definitely a cougar. The body is not as heavy as one would anticipate based on how big it is. It's enormous. It's absolutely enormous. Look at the size of the hood. I am forever curious about this sort of movement, right? Like in the SCX. Oh man, not just not vented, but hard as a rock. These are Cross RC Cougars, 136 by 55, and they fill me with deep and inestimable concerns because we have landminey. Would you say landmine is probably what it's closest to? We have yet to meet a Cross RC tire that's even sort of okay. Even sort of okay. But what we hope for, above all else, in this situation, is something akin to RTR. Maybe it's the manual in there. It feels really thin, like just like a sticker sheet inside the blue. We're going to have to open the blue envelope. We must. I've got an adventure pack over here. Yeah, this should be perfect. This should fit under the tray, and I think a 3600. You know how I often say, if you've been here before, I often say I don't understand the motivation to throw a 5,000 pack in your rock crawler. Well, this may be the exception to that because it's enormous. We've got, okay, this is 2-speed. Looks like 2-speed. It literally just, can I get this in here? It literally just pulls on a spring. Then this looks like front diff lock and rear diff lock with a little wangus dangus on there. Look at the cable run for that to get over there. We've got a big old, 775 brush. It is unrealistically heavy. I'm assuming this is where the lights plug in. Yes. It comes clipped up under the hood. So we've got a second clip here. Let me just unclip that, and then we've got a whole board. So presumably we'll have all of the fun features like brake lights and whatnot. Oh man, it is really, it's got a little It's got a little wada. It's not a Tia di Puo, but it's got a little wada. This is genuinely concerning. We have a 25 kg, they claim, all plastic housing on the steering servo. There's a brushed ESC on there, Cross RC. WP880 dual RTR. Claims a 4 amp input. This brushed speed control handles 4S. Whoa, you know what I just saw? Did you see it with me? Look at that. It's got double track bar in the rear on a little cantilever, and we've got a straight one and a bent one. It's pretty wild. Diff lock cable just enters into some sort of hole in the side of the axle. It is gargantuan. Gargantuan. I want to hear it make noises. I don't know about all of y'all. There is okay, so it's underclip. It's not clipless, it's underclip for the body through the 4 holes, sort of 10-3 style. You know what? Let's okay, channel 3 and 4 are lockers. We're going to assume. Now, we do have a contingency plan in place. We've got a set of cut canyon trails, as you can see there. They're a little smaller, but they're very, very similar in size. Because, well, still sitting here on the bench from when I tested the Cross Velociraptors, still sitting here on the bench are the Cross Velociraptors, which you can see are a brother from another mother, a sister from another mister. These are bad, objectively bad, because they're fitted with a foam so firm that the weight of this, there we go, we can compress it about halfway. Slowly going down. The shocks even say EMO X on them. They're very large. It does indeed strike me as... Oh, no way. Oh, no way. Okay. So it is clipless. There are no holes. There are little denty divots in the pin. I don't know how well that shows. And there's a little cam. There's a little lever. You flip a little lever to lock it down. I'm all for it. I'm on board. Cross, I'm on board. This is on. Well, it moves those big boys. What one do we think is 2-speed? It's this one. Yeah, I want to say that's low. There's a lot of pulse width coming out of there. Yeah, it's definitely high. It's appreciably quiet. I'll give it that. Let's check our locker action. Ah! The cross servos are not quiet. Whoa, okay, let's go back down into low. Okay, yeah, that's definitely unlocked. And that's definitely unlocked. All right. Yeah, those work pretty great. And we're in a it seems to be, because we're just running, I'm kind of favoring this, because we're just running just through like a stop collar, like we're putting a brake cable on a bike. We've just got flangly dangus here. It's not. So I don't think we have to worry explicitly about things like endpoints. I'm very interested by that. Chassis mounted steering. I almost misspoke and said, "Oh, the panhard bar is on the wrong side," and then I realized that it's on the wrong side. Panhard bar is on the wrong side. But we'll go with it. We'll see. Maybe they know more than I do. Generally, the upper link, panhard bar is on the correct side, opposite of the... Okay. something is backwards. We either need chassis side panhard on this side, or we need the upper link moved over onto that side. Yeah, you can see it right there. I don't know why a lot of companies that you see the upper link just pushes the front axle over that way. I don't know why that happens, but it definitely happens. We got a maybe the body rests on it. So we are going to take it, and we're going. Oh, I'll try the light thing after we've plugged in and clipped on. Okay. Nice long cable. Okay, lights are on. Oh wait, no. Oh, high beams. Blink you. Oh! Okay, so it looks like running lights are always on. Hazards, and then we can just go to running lights. We will find out in short order if the sand ladders come in really handy, actually, to hold on to this giant body. And better still, it goes on pretty easily. Lock the little cam, guys. See if that locked on. And then turn this little cam guy. Oh, nice. Nice. I'm for it. Okay. So hopefully this angle will show. So cam starts there, and that is unlocked. You put the pin through, and you just turn it 180 degrees, and it's locked. And there's one per pin. Nice, nice. I'm with it. We are definitely sprung. We are living in a scalar world. Channel frequenters will be familiar with Victor, the 18-inch ruler, aka 455 millimeters. Hyung. EMO X2 Cougar, large, real large. I have set my expectationals to a very specific. Oh, do we get reverse lights? Okay, headlights. Reverse lights. Okay. Turn signals. Okay. So what, high beams next? High beams. Okay. This mode is... that's fun. I mean, that's fun. This end, watch out at night, everybody. Seizures may be initiated. We got a little Michael Knight thing going on there in the middle. I mean, what a boy. What a boy. I am very curious. Oh, wait, hold on. 5,000 grams. No. I have to find my postal scale. As I have a sneaking, above a sneaking suspicion that this is over 5,000 grams. It just something tells me that. You said, the Waymax has been here for 20 years. He's getting a little sleepy in his old age. 11 pounds 9. I don't know if this, yeah, this, I'm pretty sure that this thing only has on, off, and, oh, there's a unit over here. 5.2524, it's moving around. 5.25 kilograms. That's a heavy boy, but at the same time, what did I say that was? Yeah, 11 pounds 9. Injora Red silicones would still be too heavy. So I also think it is not heavy enough for these. So we will have the bag on hand. Everybody is familiar with the blue bag. We'll have the blue bag on hand with these. But before we... Oy! Yeah, 11.5 pounds. You can feel 11.5 pounds. Oh, yes, I did. I opened the blue bag. There is no manual of any kind. It comes with this little sheet in English. And then, do not use drums or damaged battery packs. Ensure that the insulation of the wires is intact and the connectors are properly welded. If handled properly, lithium batteries may pose a fire hazard. That's true. Don't touch rotating parts. Turn on the transmitter first and then the power. Make sure the motor and servo are running smoothly and in the correct direction for operation. It's basically like, this is a toy. This is not a toy. It is designed for people age 14 and above. Do not operate the RC model on unsafe terrain. Always pay close attention to your surrounding environment. And then it has the remnants of the sticker sheet that were applied by someone. Manufacture date 3/23/2024. This thing's not, as of this recording, this thing's not even a month old. It probably took that long to get here on a boat. And then at first glance, tell me if I go like this, tell me that didn't look like an owl. I thought it was an owl, but no, it's some sort of unicorn dragon? Like a Chinese dragon? It still looks like an owl to me. And that is it. That is the sum total of included bits inside the blue envelope. I'm grabbing the bag. Oh, yeah. We got a half-completed thought about how do these come off. They got some little hub covers. They had some little hub covers. And no matter how big your vehicle gets, if it's not a Vanquish, it uses a 7mm nut on the wheels. Oh, no. Yeah, bead locks. The thumbs up for bead locks. Lock nuts on the inside. Oh, these would be super fun to put together. Because I was thinking, we should probably take them off and vent them. No, I outright refuse. It is portaled. It's so heavy. Shock action feels pretty good. Bump steer might not be too bad. Pinion angles are quite good. Very much in line with the Lynx. When we do a quick view of an RTR like this, what we're looking for above all else is, who's a liar? Is it actually RTR? I'm just going to try to get, this one. I can't. Can we take it out and drive it and have a good time? And I mean, so far, bench-wise, we're RTR. Because I didn't have to solder nothing. Oh, that reminds me. Soldering iron is turned on. Let's turn that on. It's ready to go. It's ready to go. The diffs unlock. The 2-speed shifts into second gear. Everything looks okay. It is definitely trail truck, scale truck. And I know. Someone hit me in a comment and said, whoa, bro over here hating on trail trucks. I don't hate on trail trucks. Okay? I don't know about Cross specifically. What did it? I already threw the box. Okay, Cross may have potentially gotten themselves in a bad way once. Emblazoned all across the box on all the different sides, it says 1/8 scale RC off-road model. Awesome. Nomenclature and terminology can get you into and out of trouble. I was just scanning the box to find that word, the C word, to find crawler on there anywhere. And they almost did it. They almost got away with it, but it mentions that the Cross RC Cougar is a crawler tire. Ooh, you gotta be careful. You could have called it a scale tire. You could have called it a realistically modeled off-road tire. But if you call it a crawler tire, I'm going to expect it to be able to crawl. And you know what? I don't think it's probably gonna. But we'll allow the rocks to sort that out. And we are indeed. We've got baby Impacty. We've got the Cut Canyon trails on their stock foams, just mounted up on the utility bead locks here. And we're going to give it the benefit of the doubt. But if we're flailing on simple obstacles, we're just going to swap the tires over. I would love to give the Cougars their own standalone test, but they've got to show something. They've got to show something to make me even want to bother. It could be good. It should be good. Who knows? It might be good. There, as I said, there are dip switches inside this, but as there's no manual or any, we have no idea what those are. Maybe we're supposed to consult the Cross website to find out what those do. Let's go out there and do the things, and we will let the terrain and the rocks of the canyon let us know what we've gotten ourselves into. And we begin in earnest with a couple of observations. First off, you got to give it the scale look. I just drove out here. There's some tire tracks on the ground. I drove over, I took the thumbnail and chuckled to myself, because if you have no frame of reference, like as it just sits frame center right there, if you can't guesstimate we know the rough size of a 4x4 post in the background. That's kind of the only thing we have for scale. You can't really tell how big it is. It isn't until it's driving, when you see this view. So you're walking in front of it as you're driving down the thing, and you're like, my, it could carry my backpack for me. Yeah, we're not SCX6 size, but it is big. And also notable, when I first took off out of the workshop, I thought, yeah, it's got enough pep. It doesn't have the sharpest turning circle ever. Let me double check and make sure that the steering is set. Yeah, it's at 100%. Steering and throttle are both at 100%. Okay. Yeah. The turning circle, well, okay. Maybe the turning circle isn't that bad. It just seems big because, again, I keep forgetting how monstrous this is. And I was like, oh yeah, that's it. It seems like 50% reverse. It's pretty peppy. Yeah, it's in low. You put it in high, and it's not irresponsibly fast, but I mean, it's quick. The shifting has been very responsive. I mean, you can see by the amount of body roll, something was done very intentionally. I think this is definitely more set up for trailing. So as I look around and I try to think, and I don't like to use okay. Trailing is not a pejorative term. I don't mean it as a negative. I mean that it is something separate and independent from rock crawling. Rock crawling, we would never need to go anywhere. We would never really even need to go this fast. That speed right there, see, here's the difference between someone who sets something up for trailing, non-pejorative, and crawling. This is first gear wide open. That is about how I would gear something for a 2-speed for high gear. Low gear, I would like to see probably right about there. Maxed out. But there's definitely some zazz. There's some peppy zazz there. I think what I'm trying to do is delay trying to drive this up rocks, because, okay, maybe it's just a matter of mindset. I've not been historically wowed by cross tires. Black rocks, bad. Velociraptors, bad. And so I'm worried about how they're going to do on rock. But at the same time, this thing is very big. So maybe what I need to do is approach lines from the spirit of something that's very big. Man's high gear? Nope. Okay. I'm gonna have to consult the internet to find out what the dips do. We have, let me see. Yeah, we have there's no drag brake on. So it's definitely in a full trail configuration. We need to figure out what do the dip switches do. All right, so I just went through all 54 pages of finding the manual, the build manual on Manual's lib. I have also ascertained through my own poking about that the dip switches are just servo reversing, to reverse the servos. Because when I flipped dip 4, I heard a servo go zip. And that is actually handy because the buttons light up. So we're in high gear right now, and high gear is lit up. And the diffs are lit when they're unlocked and unlit when they're locked. And I think I would prefer to have them lit when they're locked. But, and I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments almost immediately, I can't figure out, there's no adjustment for drag brake, like there's no jumper on the speed control. I've never used an 880 before. So there's basically no drag brake. Drag brake is disabled. Yeah, this is what I wanted to see right here. So at any point, if I let go of the throttle, we're just going to roll back. It is also unfortunate that Cross chose to name this. Okay, so that took the snorkel right off. Yeah, the snorkel appears to have been attached with just hope. We're just going to hope that that was going to stay installed. So, aside from the tire saying having crawler attached to it, well, okay, here's the deal. I would not be able to survive this speed control, period. The pulse width noise coming out of it, if there's any load at all on the motor, is not physically, you cannot sustain it, you cannot handle it. It is unendurable. It is a piercing sound that I am hoping, for the sake of everyone involved, is filtered out by the microphone. Yes, the Cross Cougar, here's the problem. Does this technically pass the test for it being an RTR? Can you take it out of the box and go out and drive it and have a good time? Yeah, I mean, it does. But that is if we don't call it a rock crawler, because it's absolutely not a rock crawler. It doesn't have drag brake, nor do they tell us, and I was going to say clearly, but do they tell us at all how to turn that drag brake on? So, I think the easiest method here is to just brake with tradition, because otherwise we can drive this around in the yard and we can hit some spots on the course, and we can go hit some trailing spots. I don't even think it'll fit through the bridges. I want to see, like, what are the capabilities? What can it do? So we're just going to pop it into second gear. Little half shift there. We're going to run it back. I'm just going to pop that 880 out of there, pop a 1080 in it, or, follow me, 1080 or a Radial and Cool 9030. 1080. We're going to put a 1080 in it. And then we're going to drive out of frame like this, and then we're going to put a 1080 in it, and we're going to drive back into frame the other way, and then I can set it to drag brake, and I can adjust my reverse, and then we will see. Take me a couple minutes, but for you, it will be mere moments. Honestly, that was exceptionally straightforward, because in order to get this stuff to work, okay, did I knock out the rear blinkers? No, there they are. They're just really hard to see in the daytime. The 880 that comes in it is attached with Velcro, and because the ESC has to pass through the lighting controller before it goes, it's all plugged in outside. So I just hardwired the motor to an old non-G2, an original G1 1080, reset the stuff to what I thought would be about right. We'll make sure we're in first gear. It's even peppier now. Second gear is rowdy. And I figured if we're gonna do it, we might as well just throw the Canyon Trails on there. And there's a bit more offset, probably about, oh, it's noticeable. We might be 8-10 millimeters per side wider. I think it looks way better. It looks way better. I don't think these wheels are really doing anything for it. I think they're fine. They're the test set of wheels. We buy them because they're inexpensive. But the silence, enjoy the silence. And then the low speed control. Same motor. No change other than the speed control. And, well, the tires. But, I mean, mechanically. Let's see drag brake. Okay, so the motor could stand to have a little bit more torque. I didn't just want to slap a 540 in it, though. Oh. Hold on. Yeah, if we get a little mechanical involved, we can actually kind of get it to bind up. Yeah, I'm feeling a fair amount of hesitation from the motor. I'm pretty sure that's a 775, but it's certainly not going to have the kind of torque that we're looking for to move 12 pounds. Yeah, it really gets stuck in. That is 1080, that is drag brake to 9. Rate and force at 9. A definite increase in smoothness. Like marked. Oh. Come on. That looks like rock crawling. So what I am surprised about is how easily that rear end gets hung up. We've got a lot of I think now with that widened out stance like that, we've all seen this Cherokee before. we've seen that wide out stance like that. It might be a hair too wide, but these are not the wheels. My wife was ambling by as I was transitioning between setups here. And I said, I'm in the midst of dealing with this ridiculous thing. I mean, it's almost as tall as Slick Rock. And she said, I like the look of it. I like the size of it. So, I mean, it's definitely out there. Ooh. There's something going on. I don't know what it is. Okay. On the one hand, it doesn't drive like it weighs 11.5 pounds. You don't really feel that weight to it. The motor feels anemic. When this guy bought his XJ, we're transitioning to a real world analogy. When he bought his XJ, he couldn't afford any of the hopped up motors. He's got the base motor. And then he lifted it, put bigger axles on it, bigger tires, bigger all that stuff, and the motor is just struggling. It is struggling. Yeah. 1080 would ordinarily be able to hold it. Now here, in this scenario, I think the size is indicated. Hey. Just went straight back. It doesn't just, at the confluence of wants and needs, it wants and needs more power. And because of the girth of it, I'm not sure, right? Would I task a Fusion SE to run something that weighs 11.5 pounds? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think we have a Fusion SE in here in anything weighing even 9 pounds. Like very low 8s, upper 7s on an SE. That's only a 40 amp in an SE. It doesn't need more wheel speed, certainly. It needs something lower kV. It needs more steering, which it's never going to have. Well, you can unlock it and help it a little, but you're going to be doing a lot of 6-point turns in this thing. What we're working with is, I think it could be safely said that it's its own thing, right? It's a giant XJ. It does look really cool. But in terms of the path, yes, let us talk about the path. Oh my goodness, the turning circle is quite enormous. Let us talk about the path. The path here, of course, I say of course as if it's just an absolute given, is the upgrade scenario. Where are we left on the upgrade scenario? Because in terms of things like weighted C-hubs, knuckles, stuff like that to add weight, this thing could definitely stand to have a bit of front weight. We get it real up there. That's, so far as I know, that's not really out there. That's not a thing that you're going to get a hold of. Certainly not on Amazon. Cross might have some options, which leaves you with like trying to add generic weight down low to try to improve crawling performance. I think for we're on a trail in the forest, I don't think you need that. I think it could be with the proper tire, and honestly, come on. If we're at all concerned about performance, we're putting Tusk LPs on this, right? 5 1/4 Tusks or Canyon Trails. If you're gonna trail it more, and I think the target audience, I think the people the people looking to buy this are not explicitly looking for pure rock crawling performance. I think this thing does genuinely reasonably well with the absolute most minor in modifications that we've made, though I will say those minor modifications are mandatory. We're really getting alliterative with the M's today. The 880 speed control and the motor paired to it, they are not up to the task. You know what? The steering is probably entirely due to the fact that they've put a 25 kg servo in there. So we have the typical RTR stuff. But counterpoint, these go about 500 bucks, which puts it cheaper than a 10.3, like a 10.3 CJ. Is this a head-to-head? I give the slight edge on the body to the 10.3 CJ, but I give pretty much the edge on everything else to this, and I'm not a fan of giant RC cars. Like, in residing within me is no desire to have an SCX6. It's just too big. I think we would have more steering if we put in an Amazon Blue case. I'm not 100%. Oh, I'm trying to get that thing to tripod. Just kind of sets back down. I am not 100% sure what I would choose for this for a long-term power plant. I don't know, because I would want something more all day, all night, all weather, all terrain, right? I want a waterproof, sealed up situation. I would throw an Amazon Blue case in here 100%. See if I unlock the front. If we can swing this around. Yeah, almost. We can almost swing that around. It definitely, I mean, look at the size of it compared to the old Sleeping Giant there. It passes a test for me. Because I'm a sucker for the ability to, like, I mean, we got high beams. And we can, let's just go seizure mode. This is an emerging market. As far as I'm concerned, we see FCX10, we see others. It does have a definite stability to it, and I think a lot of that stability is brought around by 11 pounds 9, 5.25 kilos. But again, it doesn't feel like it when you drive it until you get to those limitations of the motor on steeper stuff. Oh, yes. When I found the manual, the build manual, not just the... I was hoping for like the usual stuff that gets included. Oh, we're unlocked. The usual stuff that gets included with an RTR, but all we got was the sheet of paper. I was hoping that the internet would provide me with something like that, but it let me down. So having gone through, or at the very least, leafed through, I mean, that does look cool, all 54 pages of the EMO X2 build manual. I can tell you that low gear in the gearbox is roughly, rounding for expediency. Yeah, I can see it push right there. When we get that weight loaded onto the tire, so it has the steering angle. I don't know if we're quite 45 degrees, but we have a decent steering angle. I think it's just the stock servo. And perhaps upper link on the wrong side. Panhard adjustment seems good. I'm not noticing bumps here. Anyway, low gear rounding for efficiency is about 39-1, which is a little tall for a first gear, in my opinion. Second gear is about 18-1. So it's a good split. You want about a double, but ordinarily you want to see something in that 50 to 60-1 range in low gear, and high gear to be about half that. So, you know, 25-1, 28-1, 30-1, something like that. Oh, I could unlock there, I think, and swung that around a little easier. It drives well. So if we're just looking at a capsule of the EMO X2, I don't have any glaring... Like, why does it think... Oh, no? Why is the blinker... Why does it think I'm turning? Did I leave it on... oh, I left it on seizure mode. RTR electronics are, in general, ready to replace. We're kind of in a 50-50 zone here. Like, the servo's doing the 2-speed. You've heard the 2-speed a couple times. I think it might be a thing where you end up replacing the servos, but thankfully they are like reasonably sized. We're not dealing with just micros. Steering servo could definitely be stronger because 25 kg is a little low for a steering servo in general. And then factor into that an 11-pound 9-ounce vehicle with chassis mounted steering. You're gonna want like 600 ounces in this thing probably to get the front end swinging around. I can't disregard. I mean, $500 is kind of a bargain because 2.2 LP fitment. I think they look very to scale. I like the look of it on the Canyon Trails a lot more than I did on the Cougars. Very light in the front end, which again, I think could be pretty well remedied in a trailing capacity instead of an adventure pack up front. You throw a 3S 5000 hard case in there, and you're going to push that nose down. The battery's in the right place, at least. The body looks excellent. It's just, you've got to be willing to, you have to be cognizant of what you're giving in order to receive what you're getting. It looks cool. I would omit the sand ladders because to me they stick out like a pair of sore thumbs, but they do help pick the body up. There's not like, even I can't get my banana hands around the top of the body to like palm it like a basketball to pick it up. The body is probably 9 inches across. It's a big old thing, and you are going to sacrifice some things to get that big old thing. Leading amongst which is your availability of aftermarket parts is going to be next to nothing. Now the setup as is fairly good. You're going to want to replace the servo and the speed control and the motor unquestionably, and the tires without a doubt, unless you never intend to have those tires touch a rock of any kind, because these are just canyon trails from any TRX4 high trail. It's got a big turning circle. It has a turning circle that would never be geared towards rock crawling. Oof. And the weight distribution is not a rock crawling weight distribution. But for me, with very few in the way of exceptions, if I see a vehicle that has a dedicated lighting controller to give me reverse lights, brake lights, headlights, turn signals, to give me all that thing, I don't think, oh yes, hardcore rock crawler. I think something that's trying to achieve a balance. And it does indeed, because many of the obstacles here are of a difficulty. Let's see if we can push this front end over. Okay, now if I don't steer, no. Big battery. Big battery wouldn't hurt. But what do I think as a whole? Well, let's be honest where honesty is required. It's a novelty. And I realize there's a hypocrisy to that statement, as we are playing with toy cars, even if the little leaflet says not to be used by people under the age of 14, and I don't know why. Don't gatekeep don't gatekeep the 12 and 13-year-olds. They would have absolute fun with this. I think a younger person would enjoy this more than I am, because I will make sacrifices for vanity to a point, and then I want something in return. I want a level of performance in return. And the gentleman who purchased this owns an XJ. So his intention is to kind of modify this to a point where it is a reasonable approximation of his real-world vehicle. And I get that 100%. I get that 100%. For myself personally, the performance is adequate. It is fun to mush around with. And I think the problem here is not the EMO X2. The problem, to quote the poetess Taylor Swift, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. As I could never make a statement along the lines of, oh, not recommended because it doesn't crawl rocks good enough. I don't think that's its primary job. I have to look at it more from a mindset of, like, they didn't design the, when Mopar, whoever was responsible for the design and construction of the first Cherokee, the Cherokee upon which this is based, well, this generation of Cherokee, I don't think they explicitly set out to be like, yes, hardcore rock crawler. Do I think you could make this into a hardcore rock crawler? I don't think you should try. I think you should, much like the case with the UTB-18 and others of the category, enjoy it for what it is. Because I think this is where it lives. It lives out in the wild. More of an overlander than a pure rock crawler. Oh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. And the less technical I try to get with it, the less technical I try to be about it, the more I enjoy it. The rock crawler part of me wants it to be slower. The normal part of me, the part of me that will forever be, I don't know, 12, is like, if only it was a little faster. If only we could be even dumber. More dumb in it. The suspension is surprisingly good. That, whatever that thing is on the back, the cantilever double track bars, if that has a real world name, again, I hearken back to the fact that I'm not a pickup truck guy. I'm not an off-road guy in IRL, so I don't know what that thing is. Is it intended to behave like a sway bar? Because if it is, it does. You can catch this thing before it goes over. Whee! It's fun. It's fun. And above all things, a toy car should be fun. And we took it out of the box, and we RTR'd it, and we proved that it indeed does qualify. Yeah, you can take this thing out of the box and go. And if you're not trying to get mental on the rocks, it'll do it. If you want to get to a modest level of rock crawling, a 1080 and some canyon trails. End of list. That's what's in it now. I don't have a problem with the stock radio. I'm kind of enjoying this Dumbo. I feel like this is another one of those vehicles, not unlike the FCX-10, where slavery, Avery Jessup. I mean, it's got the channel 3, 4 for the unlockers on the top. We got the lights. We got the 2-speed. There's really no reason. Why would you change it? There's not really a reason to change it. The trigger feels pretty good. Steering wheel tension, again, pretty good. For my banana hands, the foam is a little small, but these are minute. These are, I hate fake carbon fiber. These are micro concerns. These are little itches. They don't, at the end of the day, they don't matter. I think the vehicle absolutely delivers. And in terms of an RTR, I realize $500, yes, is a lot of money. It's a lot of money to me. I'm assuming it's a lot of money to you. If you were buying this for someone else, if like say you were gifting this, my goodness, that person, unless they are a jaded, horrible human being, would be like, this thing is awesome, because it is awesome. Not the best rock, but in the vein of the FCX-10. Not the most capable rock crawler, and never will be. But I mean, a joy to behold. So, take that for what it's worth. Cross EMO X2. Thanks everybody for coming by, for stopping by the canyon. I feel like we had a good time. A good time was had by most all. I wish they had included a manual, but that's kind of almost my biggest complaint. I hope to see you again real soon. We're running out of time on the timer. Thanks so much for dropping by the canyon. In between now and when we meet again, please want to do your very best to have a good run, everybody. Thanks so much for coming by the canyon. We hope to see you again real soon. Driving out of frame, and the camera's going to click off right about... That's right. After credits. It's the post-credit scene. I do appreciate the body mounting solution. It's simple, and it's clever, and unlike the FCX-10, you can actually undo the body and take the body off. You don't feel like you need 3 hands to do it. Oh, yes. We're here for omissions and beefs. beef number one is, why did they put a dude in there in a racing helmet? We're going to need to pull this interior, which is not going to be super fun, so that we can get that guy's head out and swap it for like that axial head with a cowboy hat on it. He's got his visor down. I mean, you know, like, nothing about this says racing helmet with the visor down. I'm not upset that we'll allow the little holes. I'm not upset that the snorkel popped off. It was being held on by this screw went up through. There was a little inner bracket. Maybe it wasn't threaded in all the way, but I don't miss it at all, so I'm not going to put it back on. I opened this bag up when I came in to solder in the 1080. They're not messing around, man. Look at this, if you will. I mean, nice, right? Most people are giving you an L wrench. 1.52 and 2.5. Nitrided on the tips, pretty nice. A lanyard for your radio. They know you're trailing. They know you're trailing. Okay. Nice powder blue. Nice. And then a little bag of stuffs, including a little flash drive that says Cross EMO X2. I don't know, probably like a video or something on it. Little piece of rope and a little hook that you can stick onto your faux winch up there in the front. Have a little guy hanging out. Yeah, let me guess. The manual? No, I don't know. None of that. It's got QRs, but there's no English on here other than other than Cross RC. I don't know where that's going to take us. I think I like it, despite myself. Like, it's not something that I would seek out, but I'm not mad about it. And it does. I mean, it does look really good on the canyon trails. It's so heavy. Yeah. That's it. I felt I would be remiss if I didn't mention the wrenches. Most places, when they give you a little bit of extra stuff. Oh. Gift. Nice. Proper. We'll see where this progresses over time. I'm not mad at it. Yeah. Come back and see what becomes of it in the future.